Hi there, it's Andrew from Parker Adams Boat Sales. I'm here down in what I normally say is a lovely sunny day. It's not, it's pretty miserable. It's raining here in Chichester Marina, but we can't let that stop play. So we're here on a Sealine SC38. This is a really, really lovely example of the SC38. It's incredibly well cared for, beautifully looked after, has an engine bay, quite literally, you can eat your dinner off. And I really think that 38 has got so much space to offer. Down below you have an unrivaled amount of space for its class. The cockpit is really, really large, and of course you have a separate heads and a separate shower, which is incredibly popular on the SC38. So let's crack on with the walkthrough tour, and I'm going to try and get out of the rain. Okay, so you might be able to hear the pitter-patter of rain inside the cockpit space here, but what a cockpit space it is. So this SC38 is a 2008 boat. It's powered by twin D4 engines, which gives an excellent level of performance, but also economy on this boat. And the owner who's had this boat has upgraded so many things on this boat. It really is one of those boats where the future owners benefit so much from the investment that this owner has put into it without actually paying a premium for it. So it's a really great opportunity. So what I'm going to do, let's start off by showing you around the cockpit space here. First thing to note is that this has got a dark roof on the top, which is great because it doesn't show up any mildew or mould. And the space and feeling that you get in these boats is just fantastic. They really do feel much, much bigger than their 38 feet would suggest. But let's start off at the back. So you've got good access here to the bathing platform. I always talk about the step-ons and how easy it is to get on and off the boat. You can see the moulded bathing platform comes right round there to the edge. There's good side deck access. I'm not going to walk around today because it's pretty cold and miserable. But you can see up at the top you've got you've got handles all the way around. You've got grab handles throughout. I also love the fact on a 38-foot boat that Sealine put an extra set of cleats on this. So you've got one set of cleats at the front, another one here, another one there, and another set on the stern. So that extra spring line cleat I think is really, really useful. This design of the boat is dominated by a really, really large opening roof, and I'll show you that again in a second. The snap davits on the boat, so this snap davit system can deploy the tender into the water very, very easily. The boat also has underwater lights, which are quite hard to see today, but does have new underwater lights that have been fitted by the owner. And we can just step onto the transom and into the cockpit space. So here we have the cockpit, as seen earlier on. You've got a very nice fabric upholstery around here, which makes it feel quite cosy. Actually, it's a nicer feeling than some of the Silvertex boats that can feel a little bit cold in places. Access to the engines is brilliant. You've got a huge hatch there, and I'll open that up towards the end of the walkthrough tour, and you'll see just how clean and immaculate this is kept. Underneath here, you have a sink with hot and cold running water. Access to the side decks is very good. You've got a teak-laid step and grab handles all the way around. I like the little touches where the lights in here are recessed into their own little light container, and it just has that feeling of a good quality boat. I do like the way this feels. And the owner has updated all of the covers. So there was a totally brand new set of covers fitted just this year. And the colour's nice actually. It's a blue, but it's got a slight, I don't know if you can see that, it's got a slight weave to it, which makes it look very, very nice. Sealine is all about space and the way that they use things, and I don't know how they managed to fit so much in, but even little things like underneath the seat here, got a huge space under there which can be used for a life raft or used for storage and tools, etc. You also have a very clever design on the SC38 where you've got this pull-out arrangement where if you want to turn this into a sun pad, a lot of boats are quite difficult to set up with a sun pad. You have cushions stored somewhere separately, then people take the cushions off, end up putting them into their garage and never using them. But on the Sealine it's very, very easy because all you have to do is just pull out this section here, and that sun pad then slides into position here, and the table is also stored under there. So very, very clever use of space there to keep the sun pad infill and also the table infill. The helm is an excellently functional helm on this, and there's an extra bolster here the owner's put just to lift the height a little bit as well. But you can see from an upgrade point of view, it's got a brand new Raymarine Pro level plotter, which has also got buttons as well as a touch screen. You've got a new Raymarine VHF which has been fitted, you've got light controls. But one of the big upgrades that's been added to this boat, and it's something that Volvo Penta have added in recent months actually, something I think they've only started offering this year, is that on older engines, the ability to update the older engine systems to have new brains in them and also new controls. So you would be expecting this boat to have an older style control, but actually this has got the very, very latest Volvo Penta upgrades. It means you get these additional displays down here, one for each engine, and then you also have the ignition start-stop system and the security of having a fob access to your boat just on there as well. And that was fitted to this boat earlier this year. Cost of that was around about £10,000, so it's a huge upgrade on a boat, and it really does keep the boat feeling very, very modern with the very latest Volvo Penta technology on there. As we look forward, the front of the boat is dominated by this brilliant window. Now, it's a window which is obviously inside the cockpit space, but lets so much space into the cabin. So as we go down there, I'll lift the camera up and you'll see just how much space, how much light is let into that cabin. Just take my shoes off. Some of these boats are laid to wooden floors. This one's got carpet on it, which again makes it feel quite homely. And then as we move the camera up here, you can see this fantastic light coming through here, which just bathes this whole area in natural light. It is a very dark and dingy day. I've only got a few of the lights on, but it feels lovely. The owner has put updated LED strips along the top of the cabinets, and it makes the boat feel much, much more modern. In terms of the galley space, the galley use of space is excellent. You've got a very, very large fridge, which is nestled into there. All of your cutlery, etc. is all inside here. Clever use for Sealine here, they've cut out, so normally this would be a blanking space, but actually it's cut out around the sink. So instead of just having nothing there, they've got to cut out. I like that. These cupboards, lots and lots of practical cutouts here for cups and glasses, etc. And then hiding behind this one is a 12-volt smart TV, new Fusion sound system, which is linked up with a couple of new speakers that are up there in the cockpit space as well, and they're also LED lit, so there's an LED controller there for the Fusion speakers. Microwave is here, that's all staying on the boat as well, and that just closes that off. So the galley on these are incredibly functional. There's gas cooker down there as well, and then you've got a gas hob which is located just underneath there. So it's a two-burner. I think it's a two-burner. I haven't looked under there yet. Yeah, it's a two-burner hob under there. Let's move forward first. This is the master cabin. Again, it's got a nice feel to it. There's wood all the way around. There's a light skylight above the bed. And it just feels a very nice, cosy place to be. Love the fact it's a central bed. You've got the steps up there to get up on each side. Large wardrobes, lift-out vanity units, and cupboard space all the way around. So the cupboard space on this boat really is exceptional. And then I said on the walkthrough tour in the introduction that one of the things that the SC38 has got, which I think is hugely beneficial over any other boats, and in fact I've been on board the boat this morning with the owners, and the owner said well, they're looking for their next boat, they're looking for a larger boat, and they're really struggling to find one that has this feature, and I don't think they will. And the feature is the fact that you have a completely separate shower room. So you've got a shower here which can be used just purely as a shower, and then on this side you have the heads. So it means you don't need to compromise and have a shower and a heads all together. You've got two really good sized heads and showers completely separate, and that's something that I think they will struggle to find on another boat. The aft cabin is also very large on the SC38. So you step in here, you expect to find two beds, and you get three. So in here you've got an infill there, so you've got a large double bed which can be made up as a single as well. Like the fact you've got upholstery all around the back there, you've got lighting controls, you've got a window on both sides, and then you've got this extra bed. Now this really is fantastic from a family point of view, so if you have a young family and you want to sleep with a baby or something, then the baby can easily be on this side, or it just means that as a family unit you're all together all the time, and I really like that. So most boats would have the two beds, Sealine's put in three. Don't know how they managed to do it, but Sealine are always incredibly clever with their use of space and managing to get so much more into the same size boat as many of the other manufacturers. So that's a nice cosy cabin. You can see the owner is prepping for the autumn, has started to put heaters on board just to keep the chill off when we start to get a little bit damper. So just a quick spin around again. This is the saloon space on the SC38. Lovely U-shaped seating there, goes all the way around. You've got storage across the top. Then just underneath here, you have what's called the Sealine C-Plex unit. Now, this is a great system which controls all of the systems on the boat. So that has all your lighting controls, your bilge pump controls, everything runs through there, and that's been 100% reliable for the current owner. He's also just changed, Sealine fitted this little Weatherstation from the boat when they were new. Now, on other SC38s or other Sealines I've seen, these can sometimes get temperamental, and this was actually replaced with a brand new unit just this year. So it really is a boat where the owner has spent a lot of money upgrading so many different things on the boat, but all that means is that the person who buys the boat just benefits from all that new technology and keeping the boat as latest as possibly. Start that again. The next owner really just benefits from having all the latest technology on board the boat, but doesn't pay a premium for it. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to go back up into the cockpit space. I'm going to open up the engine hatch. It's a manual hatch, so it just needs to be lifted up, but rather than put the camera down on the sofa, I'll just put that to one side and I'll show you around what is a beautifully immaculate engine bay with, again, a huge amount of space. Now, we sold an old Fairline Targa 3033 for this owner about 2 or 3 years ago before he bought this boat. And that boat, again, had been lovingly restored. It was a beautiful condition boat. And the engine bay was spotless, and it is again on this one. So I've lifted up the engine hatch. It doesn't have any things to go wrong, so like hydraulic rams. It's just a very, very simple ram system, which you just pull it up. And if you go down into here, what I will show you is a huge engine bay space for a 38-foot boat that's got not one, not two, but 3 bikes in there. So he's managed to get 3 bicycles down here. Amazing amount of space here. 1 bike just up over there, 2 down here, which can really extend that family options of going cycling on the boat. Then you have down here 2 D4 300s. These engines, they really do look like they've just been installed. Everything, all the pulleys are beautiful, there's no rust, there's no marks. They are presented in very, very tip-top condition. Sealine also put this extra moulding in, so it's got a shiny surface, the floor down here. And it does mean that any spills, any oil is very, very easy to detect. And the owner likes to keep it really, really immaculate down here. So it's very, very nice and clean and tidy. The new ECU system for the Volvo Penta is just nestled in there. It's got a battery charger on it, and this boat doesn't have a generator, but it is fitted with an inverter. So it's got a good powerful inverter, so if you need to run any 240 systems, then you can run them through the inverter as well. But the engine bay is a very, very nice place to be down here and kept immaculately, as is the rest of the boat. Okay, so I think I've pretty much covered everything here. As you can tell, I really, really like this boat. I love the fact that the owner has spent money, put upgrades into it, and the boat is presented in really, really lovely condition. It's a float in Chichester Marina. It'll stay here whilst we sell it. But the SC38, I think, offers an immense amount of space. If you're looking for a 38-foot sports cruiser, we've got a couple of them for sale. Have a look at both of them and do come and see them. But I think this is the sort of boat that you only really get a feeling for that spaciousness once you step on board it. But I'm a big fan. I think they're very, very nice boats, very well appointed. And I say, you will not find another 38-foot boat that has this feeling of spaciousness as well. So thanks as always for watching. Hope you've enjoyed the walkthrough tour. Please remember to subscribe. I was supposed to say that at the beginning, but I always forget. But thanks as always for watching, and thanks for your support for the channel. And of course, if you have a boat that you'd like to sell, please get in touch with us. If you'd like to arrange a time to come and view this particular boat, just get in touch with us and we'll meet you down here in Chichester. Thanks as always.